Hi everybody, I am James the Man's Man, and welcome back to another exciting episode of The Man's Kitchen. Now, where we left off on MasterChef Junior, we left off on our last episode that I watched. They did the first challenge was a egg stuffed ravioli, and the second challenge was chocolate. Now, I'm still waiting on a pasta roller before I do the egg stuffed ravioli, so we're just going to do the chocolate episode today. And I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get the egg stuffed ravioli episode done to you before the end of the season. Now, just so you know, today is actually Friday, the day that they should air the next episode. So you're going to get this actually an episode behind on TV. So for chocolate, what am I going to do today? I'm going to make a coffee rubbed steak topped with a mole sauce and served with white chocolate and vanilla mashed potatoes. Now, I've never made a mole sauce before, and after a little bit of research and then going to the grocery store to see what I could actually get, this is what I've got that's going to be about as close to it as I can get. Okay, so for our sauce, we're going to start out with what you're supposed to start out with is a blender or a food processor, and I don't have a food processor. All I have is magic bullets. So you're supposed to start out by taking your dried chilies and toasting them up. Now, where I'm at, I can't get any dried chilies. So I got canned peppers. And I don't even have the right kind of peppers. So this is a mole-like sauce. So I got some canned chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. So we're going to put a couple of these in here. And I'm going to do everything twice to split it because of the amount of volume it wanted. So I'm going to put 2 of those in there. And then I got some whole poblanos. We're gonna put 1 of these in each one. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so we're done with our peppers for right now. Now we're gonna put into here about a cup of stock each. Bit more. I have 3 cups in here. Okay, it took it. Yeah. So something's messy because I had 3 when I started and I thought you know what, we'll just even this out a bit. There we go. Now the next thing to go into here is some toast. It's a toasted dinner roll, some tortillas. So we're going to take some toast. I'm going to put that in. And what we are supposed to do is let this sit for about 10 minutes and let everything in here really just mix up. That's what we're going to do. Now, I already started, before I started filming, I got my mashed potatoes already going. So I just have a pound of potatoes in the water mashing. Now, the next thing I was told to do was to take my tomatoes. It's to take 2 nice tomatoes, half them, and some tomatillas, the green husky ones, which I also couldn't get, and my research told me I could use some green pepper as a substitution, and I don't quite have enough, but that's what I got. So we are going to take these. Okay, so we have a pan, and it said to do it on a dry pan, so just going to get some heat on here, turn the hood on. We have some heat on there, we have the hood on, and we're just going to take these flatten, and we're going to let that go. It said it should take about 3 or so minutes, so I'm thinking probably around 2 minutes in I can drop these in. So you'll get back to me and when I drop these in. Okay, so you can see that we got the skin starting to retreat on the sides here. They're starting to get some color. So we're going to add some green peppers into the mix. Move them around. Okay, the tomatoes are letting off a little moisture, but not a lot. Just trying to heat up a little bit. I got it on between low and simmer. Take it up to medium. And in this time, we're also going to, right now, we're going to start pureeing up the mix. Okay, so we're going to take each one of these. We'll lock this on, run this down. I might actually need a third container. I might have to split this again and do this in threes because I have to add the tomatoes to this with the peppers, saute up some vegetables and add those. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to add a third bullet blender into the mix. Okay, so so it's been a couple minutes, and you can see that the tomatoes have their skins pulled away. They got some color in here. So, and I had to actually split it into 4. So what my directions told me was to basically just blop these in here. Okay. We're going to put the green peppers in here that are the substitute for tomatillos. Okay. Use a spatula to get everything because I thought the pan was going to be trashed and I was going to need to get some steel wool out, but actually, since I wasn't using any oil, but it actually came relatively clean. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this back on the stove, and we're going to bring the camera over here and we're going to move on to our next step. Okay, so our next step, traditionally I guess you would use lard, but I'm going to use butter instead. And what we're going to do is we're going to saute off our ingredients next, the other ingredients. So what we have is we have a whole onion, thinly sliced. We have a half of a garlic, diced. Quarter cup of raisins. 1/3 cup peanuts. Now it said to use some whole cumin, which I don't have any, but I have powdered cumin, and cumin is one of my favorite things ever, so we're going to put probably a little more than we need. So I love the smokiness of cumin. Cinnamon sticks. And then I have a mix of cloves and allspice berries. And it's important to count because I got to take those out when we puree this. So I have, what did I have? I had 5 of one and 6 of the other. So there's 11 little pieces there to pull out. And we're going to cook this for about 3 or 4 minutes till we get the onions soft, is what we're going for. I did not puree the tomatoes yet. It just throwing them in the bullet cups, and we're gonna wait till we put this in there to do our last puree. So we're gonna stir this up. Okay, now I got my mashed potatoes over here, and actually I'm going to transfer those to the back. because I need to get the cast iron skillet hot for our fillets. Ooh, that got warm. So once this gets hot, I'm going to get our fillets on because Camera Wife Heather loves it well done, and I like a little medium rare on my fillet. So I'm going to get them on. Hers is going to go in the oven while mine rests, and we finish the sauce and the potatoes. Actually, yeah, you know what? I'll sear hers here, and then I'll put it on a disc in the oven. And that's what I'll do. So you can see we're starting to get a little bit of color, but not too much. Just gonna keep stirring this up. But it's smelling amazing. So we're gonna come over here to our steaks. I have 2 fillets here, and what we're doing is we're going to do a coffee on these. So I just have some Maxwell House. You can use Folgers, whatever you want. I've never done this myself. I haven't tried this before. I know a lot of people like putting coffee right on their steak. I heard it can be a little gritty. So, whoa, that's a lot. That's probably enough for everything. Yeah, see how I got all that just from patting off the one that I put too much on. Okay, so we're going to put a little oil in our cast iron that's been heating for a few minutes. And you can tell how hot a pan is too by how quickly the oil moves around. And we're going to use the thinner fillet for Heather. That way it cooks a little faster. And basically I'm going to get a crust on that. I'm going to throw it in this pan and pop her in the oven. Now back to this stuff. And we're starting to get that golden color on here. And that's what we want. So we're going to take out, in a place to discard, and we're going to take out the cinnamon sticks. And we're going to try and look for all the little, there's a allspice berry there. There's a clove here. There's that clove. And we're going to try and pick. There's another one. Nope, wait, there it is. Okay. I'm having a hard time seeing them all with all they're blended into the raspberries raisins pretty well. So I think that's about all I'm going to get out. So now we're going to take this over to the 4 mini blender stations we got. And if I see any more in here while I'm going, I'm going to pick them out. Okay. So now we're going to blend all of these. And then we're going to pour them out into our pot. As we blend. So if you had a blender for a food processor, this would be a lot easier because you could do this all in one shot. Oh wait, there's another one. You do this in one shot instead of 4 like I have to do. Or you could always cut the recipe down in half. I could have just made one blender bowl work. that comes right to the top of this little pot too. That back on the heat. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but I did flip Heather's coffee ground steak, which I'm now going to put in the oven. Okay, I'm going to turn this pan back down. I don't want to lose my heat on it before I do mine. So I'm going to add our dark chocolate to the sauce. Grab a whisk. So along with the dark chocolate, I'm adding a couple tablespoons of sugar. And we're going to whisk that up. And I'm guessing as that dark chocolate melts, the color's going to melt up. Now, the potatoes, like I said, have been on for a while. I've got a skewer. See if they're soft enough. Yes, they are. They are soft enough now to mash. So we are going to strain them out. Do we have potato masher? Okay. Guess that's a silly question. Here it is. So another little pot on for the potatoes. I got some milk, and the milk is supposed to go with some vanilla bean, which I don't have any vanilla beans, so we're going to use. So I got some milk and some vanilla in there. And that's going to come to a simmer. I'm going to take the potatoes over here. And we're going to mash these down with our potato masher. Okay. Once you got those mashed, you can always take things one more step with a potato ricer. You can load the potato in here. Okay. Gonna need a little bowl. Just the bowl my tomatoes were sitting in earlier. Okay, our vanilla mix is ready for the white chocolate, and I'm guessing it's ready just because it's warm now. So we're going to melt that white chocolate in there while we hit up the rest of this. I turn the heat back up on my cast iron so I can do my fillet. And what the ricer is going to do is it's going to break the mashed potato down even more and add more of a creamier texture to it. So I'm going to press that out. And we're just going to put it back in our pot. Okay. Okay. Now, okay, so, alright, so the mole sauce, okay, that's not too hot to touch. That is almost hot to touch. Is just about finished. The longer we let it hang out on the stove here and reduce a bit, because I'm no expert in this, but it seems a bit runny to me. The longer we let it reduce here, the better. In the back, as soon as my chocolate melts into that vanilla and milk, I'm going to pour that into the potatoes. And it's just about melted. The potatoes should have enough heat. Oh, the potatoes ought to have enough heat to do what I want. Okay, okay. So we're going to pour that in. And then we're going to add some white cheddar to this. I'm going to get my steak on. Okay, so we're going to mix this up. Okay, now I might have poured a little too much vanilla extract into the milk. If you had been using real vanilla beans, or less vanilla extract than I used, the potatoes I'm sure would stay a little whiter than this. And I'm just going to put this somewhere warm with a lid. While I cook my filet, and Camera Wife's Heather's filet cooks, and I'll get back to you when the fillets are ready. Okay, so I'm back, and what we're going to do is we're going to put some mashed potato right in the middle of my plate, right here. We're going to take this filet here, we're going to cut it up. Okay, we're going to fan that. So actually I have a confession. My fillet was taking so long in the frying pan that I stole Camera Wife's Heather's fillets for this. So it's a little overcooked for what I would want, but it's a little undercooked for what she'd want. So my fillet's in the oven for her. Now we have this mole sauce. We're going to spoon, I guess, and we're going to drizzle some of this across. Okay. I can really smell the adobo sauce from those canned peppers that I used earlier. But I can also smell the chocolate. So I'll start with the potato. That's surprisingly good. I overdid it on the vanilla. So if I cut the vanilla in half, I could eat that a lot. Now, try the mole sauce on this end of filet here. It's spicy, but it's not an insane spice. It's kind of, I don't really like spicy food, and I don't mind eating this. It's pretty good. It's got a lot of flavor to it. Now, I try and get a piece here that doesn't have any sauce, just the coffee. I don't really taste much grit to it. What I do get though is quite a bit of coffee flavor. It tastes pretty good. So I'm happy with what I did here, and I hope everybody on YouTube likes, watches, and enjoys this video.
Please click like if you like the video. Please hit subscribe if you like my channel. And have yourself a good weekend.